Scotland's team to face France this weekend has just come out a couple of minutes ago. Um, we're going to look at it. There's a few unexpected twists. It is, though, they've not held back. It's basically a full strength team from Scotland. One or two, maybe, you could argue missing, but apart from that, it's looking really good. And I'm going to talk about what this game means from a Scotland point of view and get into that more. Okay, so I'll read out the starters and then we'll talk for that. So we've got 1, Schumann, 2, Ashman, 3, Fagerson, 4, Richie Gray, 5, Grant Gilchrist, 6, Matt Fagerson, 7, Hamish Watson, 8, Jack Dempsey, 9, Ben White, 10, Finn Russell, who's captain. Finn Russell's captain. I hadn't picked up on that. Wow. That'll add a fun twist. I mean, I have noted a miss of Jamie Ritchie. I thought they'd give it to Grant Gilchrist. But no, Finn Russell's captain. Don't know what his leadership's like. It could add a bit of fun to the game. 11, Duhan van der Merwe, 12, Sione Tuipulotu, 13, Hugh Jones, 14, Darcy Graham, and 15, Blair Kinghorn. And then this week, I'll get the bench in now before I do it like 10 minutes into the video. You've got 16, Dave Cherry, 17, Jamie Batty, 18, WP Nell, 19, Scott Cummings, 20, Rory Darge, 21, George Horn, 22, Cameron Redpath, and 23, Ollie Smith. So no place for Ben Healy after a good showing at 10 last week. I mean, to be honest with you, I doubt many 10s in the world would get in over Finn Russell at the minute. So, but not even a bench spot. Ali Price has also been completely dropped from the team after a pretty poor performance from him. Good to see Hugh Jones and Tuipulotu still in the midfield. Those two tore it up in the Six Nations. Darcy Graham back as well. It'll be good to see him with them because he's not really played with the two of them after missing the Six Nations. Kinghorn takes over Smith at 15, which I know I said to stick with Smith, but after the performance against Italy, I think it's worth giving Kinghorn a shot. If he performs well, I think we keep it, and I think that's what he's doing. He's going to see Kinghorn and see who has the better game. I personally think Kinghorn might actually have a decent game, but who knows. Ewan Ashman's in it too. What's his face? Turner entirely. You know, you've got Ashman starting and Dave Cherry on the bench as hookers. It's a bit interesting. Back row, Matt Fagerson at 6, Hamish Watson at 7, Jack Dempsey at 8. Sparks the question, is Jamie Ritchie injured? I've not heard anything about him being injured, but you'd think, you know, he's the club captain or the national captain. He's club captain as well for Edinburgh, but that doesn't really matter at the minute. You know, as captain of Scotland, you'd expect him to be in the team every week, but he's not even on the bench. You know, Darge is the back row option on the bench, which I think he deserves because he was good last week. Front row's looking a lot stronger. I don't think they'll have any problems. Yeah, I like Horn on the bench as well. Adds a bit of pace later on in the game. Obviously, Ben White's already kind of over the last couple of years established himself as the best 9 nowadays. Since Ali Price has dropped considerably since the Lions tour. You know, he was good. He was the best 9 of the Lions tour. And then just vanished. I don't know where he's really gone. I'm looking over here because that's where I've got the team. Cummings on the bench. Yeah, he played not badly last week. Yeah, it's a full strength team. So we're gonna have to wait to see how it goes against France. I don't believe France's team is out. I can have a quick look if you give me 2 seconds. No, it is not. France's team is not out. But what does this game mean for Scotland in the performance, not the performance, the build up to World Cup? I think this is probably the biggest game to target for a win. France, second in the world rankings, probably the second best team in the world at the minute to Ireland. And I think if Scotland can win here, it'll be a huge confidence boost going into the World Cup. I know they're playing France this week, next week, but next week's away in France, which history beckons both teams. The home team usually gets the rub of the green. I think France has only won one in about the last 5 games at Murrayfield. Scotland's won one in about the last 20 years at the Stade. So, slightly more weighted towards France, but at Murrayfield it is predominantly Scotland for favoured. Now, that stat of 1 in the last 5 games at Murrayfield, I'm not 100% sure. I will look it up quickly. It's about 2 in the last 8 years France have won at Murrayfield. And then kind of go back, and it was actually France dominated for a while, but that's just because Scotland were rubbish. Before you go back even further, and it's more Scotland dominated. So, yeah, of recent, the usual rub of the green is the home team wins. But France are a different animal at the minute. They are one of the best teams in the world, as are Scotland as well. I think Scotland are the one up. So you've got kind of the top 4, the All Blacks, the Boks, Irish, and French. Then there's probably quite a big gap, and then there's Scotland, and it probably would be Scotland, maybe Argentina in there, and then there's another gap to England, Australia, Wales, etc. That's kind of what I would argue at the minute in teams. Now, unfortunately for Scotland, in their pool are 2 of that top 4 that they have a gap between, so they're going to need every single inch of confidence they can get, and this win will prove a lot for it. And I also want to see Scotland do well. I think if Scotland can win this game, or at least give France a run for their money in it, it proves that Scotland can go and upset the Boks now. It will plant a seed of doubt in the back of their head, going, maybe we actually need to take them seriously. Maybe we need to actually, maybe we're not guaranteed to get out. As I keep saying, I have a funny feeling they might pull it off, but that's just my gut feeling. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. I always get a gut feeling if we're going to beat England or not, and to be honest with you, 99 times out of 100, no, not 9, I've not seen 100, 9 times out of 10 it's been true. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But that's the team. I have noted some of the other teams are coming out, due to the fact that my interest lie in Scotland. I'll cover Scotland individually more. The other games was at the England, Wales, and whoever Ireland's playing. I can't remember. Was it Italy, maybe? I don't know. I know Ireland's playing someone, or is it a stronger team? Whoever. I'll cover those games as a full game. I may also cover this game as a full game. But yeah, if you enjoyed, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.